Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit a long way, long shit a long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get this shit a long way, get this shit a long way, gotta get this shit a long way, gotta get this shit a long way, get this shit a long way. She don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, gotta get this shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, every day we gotta get paid, I'm feeling like we be the new slave. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, she's gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, tryna get this shit the long way. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way. Get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pong way. My name's Atari, and I'm playing games up to the Atari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave. Said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money. We gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, back and forth like the pong way, and I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way, just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy, we gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day, we be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for me. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 we get this shit the long way, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, we gon' get the long way,
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. Welcome. For those of you that do not know me, my name is LJ Young. I am the founder of SMD. I am not SMD. SMD is a family of people, not just me. I just happen to be the head of it to start, the founder, blah, blah, blah. I'm LJ, who is part of SMD. And what I'm here to do is I'm just share my gift. And my gift is that I know capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. Okay, I know that. That's a mathematical fact. So what that means is what I do, what my position does is I help people come from the negative side of the economy to the positive side of the economy. Okay, that's what I do. Let me give you an example. Now that I understand capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative, that means every word that is used inside of when you're speaking of finances and money, that means that word is also positive and negative. Let me give an example. People with mortgages, that's called negative homeowner. Homeowners with no mortgages, that's called positive homeowner. See, that's the positive. Because if you believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage, right? All you got to do is open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. That large negative number says you are a negative homeowner. That's what the calculator said. Just look at it. Just be like this. It's never going to change, okay? You are called a negative homeowner. Positive homeowners don't have nothing to put into the calculator. That tells that there's no numbers to put in there for the calculator to calculate. That makes them a positive homeowner. Get it? And there's only one real homeowner, the one that bought it, the one that owns it with no mortgage, okay? But here's the psychological part, okay? So you can understand. Millions of people with mortgages don't know that. That's the psychological part. That's how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to believe they own things with no money of their own. That's part of the negative side of the economy. That part of the economy is very, very important. That's important. This is the way it works. Whatever, it was in place before I got here, but I could just, the whole time I got to choose to be on the positive side of the economy. That's what I help people do. Come on over to the positive side where you really own things for real in real life. You don't when you look at the whole economy, the price of everything becomes irrelevant because you always have money. It doesn't matter what the price of the item is. But people on the negative side don't know that because they finance things that go down in value. Okay, this is what I do. What's up, Mister? What's up, Andre? What's up, Kang? Kang says the Caleb Hammer channel is pretty interesting. I'm sure that's what your personal calls go. Oh no, personal calls. I don't get personal calls like the people on Caleb's show. If I did, I would just raise my prices $1,000, and then if I still got those kind of calls, I would raise it to $2,000 to eliminate those kind of people. That's what I would do. What's up, Omanike? Luminov? What's up, Nick? Nick, what's going on? Me and Nick went deep last night, but that's another story. Anyway, deep in the debt matrix, or no, in the whole financial system. Anyway, so I'm gonna do another video review of Caleb, right? So Caleb Hammer this is nothing negative to Caleb Hammer, nothing to do with him saying he's wrong or stupid or anything like. This is just doing a review of him doing a review on a debt slave, because when you understand capitalism is psychological and positive negative, I now understand that people are the currency. It's them. It's the debt slaves. All of them are the currency. It doesn't matter the money. It doesn't matter what interest rates are doing and all this other stuff. They worry about that. They worry about interest rate because they borrow money. That's why when you have money, you don't worry about interest rates unless you're earning it, not paying it. Okay, get it? Like here's another example. Compound interest is positive and negative. The people that have money earn positive compound interest. If you're paying interest on a loan, a car payment or something, anything you're paying interest on, that's compounding negatively because you're paying it. Get it? You're paying compound negative interest. See? So when I bring you to the positive side, you earn compound interest. You don't pay it, you earn it. Got it? All right. Now, one thing I learned about Caleb, right? When I watch his videos, I try to figure out if he knows capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative, until I got an email or a text or something from somebody, one of the SMD family members. They said, check out one of Caleb's old videos about him talking about his personal finances. I forgot the title of the video. I don't know. Maybe I'll post a link in here later when I find it. But he went over his personal finances, and he had stuff on the personal side that he was adding into his net worth and all this stuff. Now, if you know that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative, the number one rule is that you don't have no personal debt. That means having no personal debt means you own the business of yourself first. That's the number one rule. If you want to participate in the economy correctly, you have to own the business of yourself first. Your social security number, that's your EIN number for you personally, you. That's why you go to prison or go to jail if you start messing with it and doing other stuff. That's why it's important. So one look at your personal credit report, I saw he had personal debts. I was like, Caleb doesn't know because he's showing the world that he has personal debt. That doesn't make any sense. That tells me right there he doesn't, and he's adding in the net worth and the value. I'm like, he doesn't know you're not supposed to do that. He doesn't know. So that means that tells me that he doesn't obviously know, because he would never do that. Okay. So, but again, back to what he does understand that the majority of people are in debt. So he will always have content, because the majority of people that are in debt, they don't know they're in debt. That's why they even come on his show, because they don't know that. And I mean, it's crazy. They don't even know. So that's why he speaks to them like that. Hey, what do you think your finances are? A 4-3. He already know they're at zero because they're in deep debt. So they have nothing. Debt slaves are the currency. When you're making payments, payments alone should tell you that you are owned because you're paying somebody something. That means the person you're paying, they own you. That's what that means. That's why you're paying them. They own you. Like, you got to remember, direct physical slavery has been abolished since the 1800s. So now it's called psychological slavery, psychological chains. That's what you guys have because you're paying. And that's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm not saying anything's bad about it or anything. It's just called business. Not really a big deal. But you don't have to be on that side to have psychological change. You don't have to do that. You can come over here, realize the currency is the people. It's the people. It's not gold, silver, nothing like that. It's just them. The stock market, guess what the stock market is? Debt slaves. That's all that is, debt slaves. Cryptocurrency, all debt slaves. It doesn't matter. You understand that? That's it. So, damn, I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. So the people know, they don't know that they are being financially abused on his show. And that's forever because it's on the internet. It's forever. All right, let's get to it. Whoops, let me get rid of something here. Hello. Okay.
Hi, my name is Carl. I am 27 and I am based out of Dallas, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
27 years old.
Okay, right off the bat. Okay. Okay, right off the bat. Let me add this in here. Whoops. Right off the bat, Caleb has them open his show with them saying it. That's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, Dallas, Texas. What do you do for a living?
I am a junior construction estimator.
Okay.
So by junior there's 3 other guys at the company.
Now I'm gonna point out things so you guys can understand particular things. Notice how the guy comes out and tells you his whole long job title and then himself. What do I do? I'm a this. Employers do that on purpose because the more the name sounds important to a debt slave, they'll love it because they'll love telling people what it is, totally forgetting whatever that name is, their employer gave it to them. And as soon as they leave, they're just going to take it away. It's just a thing you do to make debt slaves feel important at a job. Okay.
And they've kind of taken me under the wing to kind of show me the ropes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I started that back in November. So pretty much a junior position because
so like entry level.
Yeah, because they have a lot more plumbing experience.
I'm gonna be fast forwarding through some parts because I don't really feel like hearing them describe their job. Okay.
And other construction that I is side. And we basically take the blueprint, our company, medical.
He wants everybody to make it sound like what he does is very, very important. That's why he's listing all of these. That's why he's listing all of these things.
Everything.
Contributions to retirement?
Not yet. They have a certain amount of time and they have certain dates.
You know why Caleb asks him that question? Have you been contributing to your retirement? The answer is no. They have no money. Debt slaves cannot contribute to retirement while being in debt. That is 100% impossible. Debt slaves don't know that. That's why Caleb asked him that question, because you can't. So it sounds good. But the majority of you guys that even watch Caleb's show, you guys are him. You just don't know that. If you're and this is how you should understand. If you're making payments, let me make sure I'm clear. If you are making payments and you can't keep up with your monthly payments or the due dates, you are him. Okay? Remember that.
It's like every 6 months where that becomes open. So not yet. And they don't do much of a match. I think it's maybe only like a 1%, but I will make sure to utilize that when it.
Let me explain something to you, debt slaves. You can't contribute to retirement at all. The only real reason why jobs say, hey, we do a match, that is to get you guys to contribute to the retirement plan and more. So because you guys will think you're getting something for free when the only thing you're matching is yourself. You're putting yourself in so they can get a bigger tax break or something. That's what they do that for. You can't save for retirement at all, let alone get a match of anything because you have no money. Okay. So when you hear people say, hey, don't leave money on the table, this is a piece of advice I want you to say to yourself, okay? When you hear somebody come to you and say that same old line, hey, don't leave money on the table. When you hear that, you turn to them and say, are you making car payments? If they say yes, they have no idea what they're talking about. There is no money on the table because you're making car payments. Got it? All right.
It does come up, but I can't utilize it yet.
Okay, that just comes out to an average. Are you paid weekly?
Yes.
It comes out to an average of $2,934 post-tax.
Yeah.
And healthcare and all that stuff per month. Health insurance, yeah.
Yeah.
So
and I do have like an AFLAC, some of that too.
Oh.
Like it's a little bit of. It's mostly for guys that.
AFLACs is for debt slaves that don't know. That's why you guys. When I see that okay, this is a hint, okay, of when you see a commercial and who is their audience, okay? So when I think of the AFLAC, if they're talking about money and they have a talking duck inside of the commercial, they're talking to debt slaves because what's the purpose of a talking duck? No purpose. It's to entertain debt slaves. Oh, that's funny. AFLAC, so they can get AFLAC in your brain, and then when you come into a problem, that's the first thing you're going to think. You're going to remember the duck and the funny sound. It's all business. I don't care what AFLAC does. I'm just telling you the purpose. AFLAC is talking to people that don't know on the negative side. That's who they're for.
That work in construction, they'll have those things that happen. But also,
Yeah.
if I get hurt or if I need to use the emergency room, anything, there's a list of things that AFLAC kind of covers.
sure they
but I also
do.
have some
I'm sure there are a list of things. I'm sure.
of that. So
now that's $35,000 a year. That's in a major city. That can be a little difficult.
yeah. So I'll kind of. I want
Also, you took out a student loan, a lot of student loans just to get that.
Yeah. So
Debt slave. If you're watching this show and you got student loans older than your children, you are him. Okay. I just want to make sure. Don't think you're better than him. Don't think you wouldn't do things like him. If your student loans are older than your children, if you have student loans older than the time, if you went to college for 4 years and you've had your student loans for 10 years, that means you don't understand math. That means you are him. Okay.
I have to kind of back up a little bit. I have to kind of give some basis to what ended me up where I'm at now. So I was a graphic designer for 3 years. I went to college for it. I loved it. It was my passion. I learned everything at school.
Let me tell you something, debt slaves. Okay. When you come to the positive side of the economy, you understand how it works. They put college in your head to make you feel like you won't be nothing if you don't get a college degree. They already know that you're not going to have any money for college. You don't have any money now, so you're definitely not going to have it then. So of course you're going to get student loan debt. Of course. Not only are you going to get it, you're going to spend it carelessly. Oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. That didn't work. This didn't work. That didn't work. Because if you was paying cash for that, you would be very specific what you're going to college for because you're paying for it. But since you don't, you spend it carelessly. And check it out. You don't, while you're in school, you don't even have to worry about payments. They make it so just disappear. It's absolutely brilliant. It's beautiful, actually. It's like a symphony. Out of sight, out of mind. And you guys just stack it. And then the majority of people that you see that always brag about their, how many degrees they have, you know what they're really telling you? They're trapped. If you come across somebody that tells you about all the degrees they have, or they're still going to school and making it look like they're just after all this knowledge, what they're saying is that now they can't stop, because once they stop going to school, those student loan payments become due. And guess what they're not going to have? Not going to have the money. So they just keep on going, trapped.
Came out of college. I worked for 3 years as a graphic designer. And even that job with the 4-year degree and everything was not paying very well. I think
How much? What were you getting?
42
Okay, let me pass.
kind of things. They were combination similar or above.
This route.
So I felt like after 3 years working, I'm good. Still learned how to do everything. Yeah, so I did that for I started after I kind of worked my way up the pay grade actually about after a year of doing that.
You know what's so crazy? When think about, let me show you something.
At plumbing, I was already my way up that kind of plumbing. I did that for another year and a half. I kind of worked my way up the pay grade actually about after a year of doing that.
Now let me this is what that reminds me of. I remember when I was a debt slave, right? And I get this particular job. Now I'm making 6 figures or whatever. It really doesn't matter the amount I was making, right? But every job has a pay scale of how many years you got to put in to get to a certain level and to make a certain amount of money. Oh, shit, I got to be here 5 years to make that. But what you don't know is this. If you take a step back out of the negative side and come to the positive side, and you see this amount of money they're offering for the amount of years you stay here, you got to say to yourself, could I do that myself? Could I make more than what they're offering myself? Because I believe, like, say like if you stayed there 5 years, by that time you got a $5,000 increase. So in 5 years, you only can increase you're cool with only increasing your income $5,000. That should tell you something. That's just, hey, that's not right. I believe in myself enough that I believe I can only earn $5,000 extra using 5 years of my life. That's wrong. That is absolutely wrong.
That plumbing, I was already making what I was making as a graphic designer.
I didn't know that back then during like, you know how they do when you get when the year or 2 year come up and then you do a review, right? You do a review on how much you're going to, the raises, they're coming out with raises. Okay. And then you don't really come to as a debt slave, you don't really come to the table with a suggested raise in on a piece of paper to show the manager. You just walk in, they tell you what they're going to give you and you're happy and you walk out. How do I know this? Because that's exactly what I did. But let me tell you the difference when you're debt free and have a job. When those things come up, you come to the table with the amount of money you think you deserve to be raised with, not according to some scale, none of that. You say, I think I'm worth this. And then you put it on the table. And if they don't like it, see, when you're debt free and you don't have the debts and they say, well, we don't agree with that. Well, you say, I don't agree with you. I quit. That's what you're saying. Then you leave and then you go find another employer that will pay you for the skills that you believe you deserve. They will pay you because, hey, if this person's coming to the table with this amount of money, this person must be good. And they know it, obviously. Good, smart companies get good, smart people that are happy where they work. That's how it works.
So the new job is a combination of graphic design and the plumbing. Okay. So it's learning a software that the company doesn't utilize yet.
Friend, girlfriend,
yeah,
not wife.
Girlfriend, yeah.
Okay, now did come here with someone else. She's not on camera, but I want to understand the relationship just as we're talking about the income. Friend, girlfriend, yeah, not wife.
Girlfriend, yeah.
Okay, not wife. Okay, so it's a 2,934, and that's it for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a monthly basis. Okay. Yeah. I want to know how you would describe your financial situation from your perspective as honestly as you can and give yourself a score 0 out of 10.
Caleb already knows he's going to do it wrong. Listen, Caleb already knows he's going to do the whole, that's something for you guys, for his audience, because he already knows he has nothing. He's a debt slave. He doesn't know that. So he knows the debt slave is going to guess. He's going to take a wild guess, maybe something he heard on Google or something like that. But Caleb already knows that.
10.
Okay. If 10 being just the best, you're totally fine. Emergency fund, everything. Yeah. And then 0, just you're completely underwater. I would give myself probably a 3 because I feel like I'm kind of underwater and I'm barely.
He is underwater. I feel like I am. See, he's telling you that he doesn't know. He is underwater and he's deep. He's drowning. He doesn't even know he's drowning.
Above making it happen, but I feel like I'm kind of on the way to figuring it out. And it's just going to be a time thing for me to
No,
kind
it's
of
not.
figure it out
No,
and
it's not.
get it better into a place that I need to.
Well, I
And
know
I'm
you got
looking
3
at it.
rough debts.
I do, yeah.
And one of
Yeah.
them's pretty extreme, but
Yeah.
all right, we need to talk about something important real quick. And that's
No, I don't want to talk about something important.
save for
Oh man, Caleb's
So,
good, man. He's kicking
the
in
way
$2,
that
boy.
I-
Man. Good job,
33,
Caleb.
like woo, improvement.
Good job,
With
Caleb.
the
Good
dollar
job.
all over the place, dude. It doesn't make sense to me. But what are we doing? We're immediately starting with $1.69.
Yep.
We ended with 33, like woo, improvement. But
Yeah. So the way that I have set up my accounts is very similar to how people utilize the envelope system.
okay.
So
Okay. Debt slaves, I want you guys to understand something. It doesn't matter how many accounts you have. You have no money. If you have multiple accounts, each of those banks are just taking money from you. That's all they're doing. You are the only one that don't know you don't have no money. You guys have all these bank accounts and you have no money to put in them. You just believe you do.
So I don't like cash.
He doesn't have cash. He has none. I don't like cash. I know you don't because you have none. That's why. That's why people say things like that.
Very similar to you.
Yeah, I
I've
don't like
heard
cash either, yeah.
where if you see the numbers going down on your app, it makes you anxious or whatever. Like that's very similar to.
But cash is nothing. I can
Right,
burn it.
right.
I feel nothing.
Exactly. And it just annoyed me to have to.
See the way Caleb threw in there? Yeah. The guy goes, yeah. 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 Just like that. No, what are you talking about? Caleb just made that up and you just went along with it.
Go to an ATM, go to a bank or whatever. And so this is my solution to that. So I have one checking account that pays all of my bills.
You see Caleb's face? That's why if you guys don't know, a lot of you guys that watch the show are just like him. You're probably wondering why Caleb makes those faces. He's like, basically, it's like you're not doing any of what you're saying. You just believe you are.
I figured out how much all my bills and my debts and everything that I need to pay, that automatically gets sent from my work, that amount. And that's 600. You'll see the amounts. That 600 is all my bills, all my debts, everything that needs to be paid and make progress.
And then what he's doing, let me make sure you guys understand something. What he's doing is called slave-splaining. He's just talking. He's just like, hey, Google told me this. I saw that on Yahoo. My friend said that. It's all a collective of what he's hears from his friends who are also debt slaves. They all say the same shit, but they don't know they're saying that. Okay. So that's why they just be like, it makes them feel like they're smart or something, but they don't know it doesn't. It's worse.
One goes to both, and then one goes to
one. My paycheck gets split twice. 600 is 600 is just the bills. And then whatever's left over in the check, usually about $77 or so, $58, that gets sent to my main checking account that I only have one debit card for. I have no other credit cards, no other.
Well, he just told you is that he lives paycheck to paycheck. Because if you put your money in and by the end of just before your next paycheck, if you have under $100, that means you're living paycheck to paycheck. That's what that means. So he just told the whole world, but you guys all do that. You guys think that's normal. So you're like, oh, I still have a little bit left. That means you're living paycheck to paycheck. That means you're in debt.
The debit cards that I can access money, that one debit card is it for me. So whatever is in that account to me is my budget for food and entertainment for the week.
All right. I don't like the way you're doing it because I get the envelope system. The envelope system is fine and it works, but you're paying $15 to service fees a month.
Right. The $5 for each account.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
What?
See what I just said? The banks know you. The banks know that slaves, you guys are the money. So when you make an account, that's you. So now they get to make some money off of you. Do you get it? But there's nothing wrong with the banks doing that. They're not big, bad, and evil. That's just called business. That's it. There's nothing personal. Okay.
What I would rather have you do is have a primary checking account and then have like Ally savings buckets and then just put those into those buckets, even though there's not going to be much left over in those specific buckets. You know it's being pulled from there and you're not getting absolutely slapped around with stupid service fees.
Allied savings buckets.
Yeah. So within Ally savings accounts, you can have different buckets.
Now you see the way how smooth Caleb threw in a sponsor or something, whatever he's doing with that, right? Allied savings buckets. The first thing I thought is, why are you putting Why are you putting a name in front of the word bucket? Why is that? Oh, that's for the business. Got it. Because Allied Savings Bucket. Oh yeah, because if you get an Allied Savings Bucket, and then the debt slave just goes right along, just like on the hook. Allied Savings Buckets? Yeah. Oh wow. Here, let me explain it to you. This and that and this and that. That's called business. Okay.
So put it in here, then have it withdraw from those buckets under the different things that you're doing.
Yeah, I would definitely have to look into that. I have no
Please
clue.
do, because we're losing $15 when we're trying to get out of debt. That's essentially like interest is being.
Guess what? He's not going to look into it. Okay. That was for Caleb and Caleb only. Caleb knows that.
Crude.
Yeah. The third account was, so I have 3 checking account with Bank.
We'll get to it. What is this account for?
Which one? Let me see.
This one is this one.
So that is my bill, I believe.
Your bills. So ongoing bills.
Yes.
Okay. So again,
so that's why it's so close, because when it begins, that's when all my bills have
paid.
Yeah, right.
So again, we did that.
Yeah.
Why?
So when
I think the person sitting Zelle transfers from, I think the person sitting over there.
Yeah.
Why?
So when we like go out, or if we go to the grocery store or something, one of us might pay for the groceries, and then we'll just to go through one line instead. Or if we go out and like it's $35 or something, if we go to like half of the rent. Yeah.
All that is called slave explaining.
So this is the bill. Yeah. So this next one must be the crap account.
Yeah.
Crap account.
Which
what is
appear
that?
to have lost the first page.
What is a crap account?
Don't know how I did that. But either way, it doesn't really matter, because this is the crap account, and this one was relatively close as well. It was like it was relatively close. Right. But from here, we're doing like corner stores, and we have an Adobe photography plan, which makes sense now that we have a YouTube subscription and a Microsoft subscription and McDonald's and Google storage and Wingstop and IHOP and Total Wine.
He believes he has an account to spend money on crap. I swear to you, debt slaves never cease to amaze me. He has absolutely no money, and he believes he has money to put in an account to where he can waste it. But I want you guys to see something. See all the list of stuff that Caleb is reading off? Create a business and get on that list, because that's what debt slaves do. They subscribe to shit. That's the new economy. That's what you do. You get them to subscribe. That's all.
Wine and More, and Raising Cane's, Fun and Mission Productions, McDonald's, High Dive,
that's
YouTube
more, that's
TV.
Like Crunchyroll.
Oh, gotcha. So great, more Crunchyroll, Home Depot, and more.
Okay,
Private student loan. And we have a ridiculous private student loan. Why are you possibly? Why is this even possibly happening?
I don't know. I mean, just combination of just wanting to. I mean, when you're there, you kind of give it to yourself, and you're just like,
why are you there? You don't go there if you self-diagnose. If I'm there, I automatically pay for it.
Yeah.
Even if.
I don't even know what he's
we'll come back to the spending. We'll come back.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Man, there is no easy way to say, oh, I go out because of this, that, and the other reason. I mean, it's just when you get there and you're hungry, you come up with all sorts of reasons why.
Well, why do you get there in the first place?
I don't have, maybe it's not enough food. Maybe I am.
Oh, come on.
At home.
Look at him. That's why Caleb's doing that. He's just slave explaining. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe just making up stuff. Just that's what they do.
Yeah, because I start out the week. I go to get groceries, right? With my whatever it be, $77.
Whatever it be.
If you look on there, most of the time I don't pay $77.
I know it's usually more.
It is.
Yeah, we know that.
I don't usually use all of that. I usually use all of that. Yeah. And then
but why isn't that slightly higher then, instead of going out to fast food?
Yeah. It's tough. This is I know you get this a lot on the show where
of course. No, he gets that a lot because he's the only type of people he brings on the show. So he gets it every single time he makes a video. There's millions of you debt slaves out there doing the same shit he's doing. The economy couldn't exist without you doing that stuff. Thank you. Hey, appreciate you.
Just like, oh yeah, that was last month, and now it's
on.
fine. It's tough. That was my last statement, and then I was sort of trying to bring it back because the main problem was, okay, so I just got this apartment back in January, it was like late January. Just got this apartment, and before that, I was living with my mom, who lives in. It's like,
okay, we got to get past all
my
this
work. 45 minutes both ways.
Where's this going? What?
Yeah, where's this story
so
going?
in order to, I got the new apartment, and it was as cheap as I could find. And
The reason why Caleb and I was confused, the debt slave doesn't know that he's building up a story to why he had to get this apartment, right? He's trying to say, but he doesn't know he's doing that. He's like, hey, let me tell you the reason why I got 45 each way, this and that, and close to this and that. So they can trying to justify to Caleb. But the reason why he's confused, because it has nothing to do with the question he asked.
And it was now close to my work. And so I left my mom's house because I just didn't want to be there anymore.
What does this have to do with your fast food spending?
Not with the fast food spending, just
absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. The debt slave doesn't know that.
Mostly just because my money's so tight. My money is so tight.
Well, if money's so tight, why is everything on here highlighted green?
Poor judgment.
There you go. Okay.
And he's laughing about it. The debt slave is laughing about it on camera in front of hundreds of thousands of people, because Caleb's videos are getting crazy views, okay? Millions of people are going to see this guy laughing at himself. That's what he's doing. He's laughing completely at himself, and he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then we had the service fee, which not a good way to do this. First, I would get a better bank.
Yeah. Well, my bank's been great to me.
Yeah, they're great at charging you $15 to exist.
Yeah.
Look how they personalize their bank with themselves. Man, my bank's been great to me. Why are you talking like that? Why are you adding feelings into a business deal? They don't feel anything for you. Oh, my bank. You think the bank says, hey, man, he's such a great customer. He really makes us feel great. No, they just charge you. That's called business. And when you start, this is for you. If you are a person like him and you've been with your bank for a long time and you say, man, my bank's been great to me. You're probably a debt slave because you're adding feelings to a bank. You care for a business? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
what are we talking? What's the purpose of this other account, the third account?
The third account was because every month I needed to save a certain amount for medical, for car maintenance, gas, and I needed to make sure that I had a set amount put into that account. That ends up from my budget. That ends up being about $65 per check. I need to take $65 every time I get paid, and I need to put.
Look at the way he's talking. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's everywhere. I had this second account to put this there and there so I can have enough money for this. The only thing that's happening is that the bank is taking money from him. That's it. No, excuse me. The bank is making money off of him because he has no money. He is the money.
Put that. I need to basically hold on to that and say, this is my miscellaneous, home goods, medical, all that stuff. I need to put that away and not touch it.
I'm good with you trying the envelope system. I think you're just doing it in kind of a weird, risky way. And I say that because, okay, yes, you got to a low balance in that first checking account. And if you knew exactly how much. So is this really working?
I'm not sure when that started. I think that started less than
February 23rd to March 27th.
For which one is this? The
account you just talked about, the final checking account.
This one. So this one, I believe. Yeah, they're all named something different. So I use Mint.
Oh my God! Congratulations, Caleb. Let me tell you something. Caleb has a scale. He knows which debt slaves to pick, who are the worst. This guy's just over there guessing which account is that. Was that last month or this month? It doesn't matter what month it was. If you see a negative number on it, that's a problem. If you ever see, you look at an account and it shows negative at the end of the month, that means you have a problem. You're a debt slave.
For all my stuff, and I named everything so it's easier for
So why
me to
don't you
kinda
just do
track.
that within one checking account then? Why do we need the different accounts?
Because
Because
when
we're overdrafting.
when I look at it on the app and I know I can't touch the amount in one account, and if I go, okay, one account is,
But can we
I've
say
got
it's working if we're negative in our checking account?
I'm never getting overdrafts or anything. If it's negative, it's negative for less than 24 hours. And
Oh. Listen to the slave splaining. Oh my God. If you've been in debt and you're doing what he's doing, you guys have no idea what that means, what that says about you. Okay, let me just go straight to I'm gonna go straight to the meat and potatoes so you guys can understand. Credit reports are really owner ledgers. They keep track of all the businesses that own you. Your credit score, those are reward points for staying in debt. If you pay the bank back their money, keep doing it, they give you a point for doing it. And if you don't, they take away. That's it. That's the only purpose of a credit score, okay? It keeps track of the businesses that own you. That's what it is. That means you are owned. So if you have businesses listed on your credit report, that means you are owned by them. Do you understand?
and I figure it out. That means I have to move stuff around or I've used up that budget for that week. So to me, for it to be successful, if I put $65 in there and I've spent that $65 on medical, on my gas, and on miscellaneous home goods, that means that at the end of that week, it's going to be zero. And I'm going to be like, okay, I used it on the proper stuff. And I didn't just take out
But of course, we didn't use it on the proper stuff though, because again, it went negative.
That's
It looks like you had to transfer an emergency $5 in there to get that reversed.
yes,
What?
probably in that. And
What?
Looks like you had to transfer an emergency $5 in there to get that reversed.
yes, probably in that scenario, I most likely did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the only one I have.
Yeah. Most likely I used up everything in that account.
No,
and
you
then
did.
I don't know where the $5 would have came out from. Probably just from the service
$5
fee or
was
something.
somewhere.
Well, there was, the bull service fee, which
Yeah.
which is gross to have. Then you wrote a $66 payment or something, and then a $25.
Yeah. The
payment for something.
66, that is me transferring over from when I get paid. That is my $66 is for
And the 25.
the 25
Wait, transferring over for when I get paid.
Five.
What?
when I get paid. That is the
payment for
66.
Okay.
That is me transferring over from when I get paid. That is my $66 is for
And the 25.
the 25. If I took out money from it
Yes.
before I was supposed to, or if I used it on something I wasn't supposed to, then I'll pay it back. And I'll say I wasn't supposed to.
This guy is everywhere. I cannot listen. I know capitalism is psychological, positive, negative, and I can't understand what he's doing. I don't know where he's going. I don't know where he's stopping, where he's going, where he's pulling money from. He's like, I do that before I get paid and this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Five
that
was
25.
taken out.
Right. If I took out $25, that
You would
means
put it back.
that means I used it on gas, on this, on that, because I don't have that card. I make sure I don't have that card, so I can't start swiping at any store.
So
I
again,
have
is the
to
envelope
transfer it.
system working if you have to pull from one envelope because you have to get gas?
No.
So the envelope is working to me because I have to transfer in order to use the money inside that envelope.
Okay.
Right. So if I get gas and it costs me $25, I have one debit card, swipe.
But the purpose is
Now I have to transfer that money back
category.
into
Man, he is not making any sense. Debt slaves, if that's you, listen, and if you can accept it or not, okay, this is going to be if you're watching this video, I need you to be honest with yourself. If you are doing the same thing as him, you guys are on the negative side of the economy. You guys have no idea, living paycheck to paycheck, moving money here and there, that you are the money. It's you. It's always been you. I help you get out of that. That's a choice. If you're living your life like this guy on this show, that is a choice. You are choosing not to trust the calculator.
Has an envelope, and if you don't have any money left in that category, you don't spend it.
Right. So I guess technically with that system, I would need 5 checking accounts in order for it to be a gas.
Let me explain what overdraft protection is, Debt Slave, so you guys understand. The bank is charging you to protect you from yourself. Let me say that one more time. This is the purpose of overdraft protection. The bank is charging you to protect you from yourself. That's what that is. That's called free money, because you don't know what that is.
Account of
Well,
miscellaneous.
this is why I think the envelope system within this service fee disaster isn't okay. If we are making progress because of it, okay.
Yeah.
But in general, we're seeing like some red flags. Okay. That's why I think
he's a red flag. That guy on the show is the entire red flag, but he doesn't know he's a red flag. That's what debt slaves don't know that. That's why he's on the show. Okay. You will never in a million years see me in that seat on Caleb's show. That will never happen unless I'm a guest, and not that kind of guest, a different type of guest, not in the chair of the debt slaves. Okay. That would never in a million years happen ever, because I own myself.
Maybe let's look at Ally, because you can make like infinite buckets, and that might be great for you.
That sounds great. I have I've used that bank since I was in high school, so I've never looked at anything, never used anything else. So yeah.
See how he says that? See how he keeps establishing a personal relationship with his bank? I've been using my bank since I was in high school. Why are you telling us that? I don't get it. So what if you've been attached to a business since high school? So what? That's nothing. That don't mean anything. But when you hear somebody add their feelings in, man, I've been with this bank for since I was a child. That's like, wow, you're adding personal feelings to a bank? You're probably a debt slave, yeah, because you're adding personal feelings to a business. That's like walking up to 7-Eleven. Maybe you lived in the neighborhood for the last 20 years and a 7-Eleven existed, and you drove by the 7-Eleven and said, man, that 7-Eleven's been there so long. I really love it. I really love it there. I love 7-Eleven. That's the same thing when you say that about a bank, okay?
Time to get on those internets.
Yeah, okay. For sure. I will definitely look into that.
No, you won't.
Oh, and then the so yeah, I did
there and I changed the name of each purchase.
Spreadsheet?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go past that stuff.
I started using Mint halfway through that month.
It gets worse.
We'll see if that actually works. But we have 2 really bad credit cards.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we have an absolutely disgusting student loan.
I wish you heard.
So these are clearly balance transfers, yeah, because you have no interest.
Yes.
Okay.
So they are.
So these are clearly balance transfers, yeah, because you have no interest.
Yes.
Okay.
So they are balance transfers. One, the origin of it is from my ex-wife. She put a bunch of stuff on her cards and
see how he's explaining the reason why the debt that is irrelevant. Who cares about your feelings or why you have it? Just understand that you have it. It doesn't matter how it was accumulated.
And loans and stuff like that. So we did a trip. We did I think she got some
well, either way, she had a credit card balance.
Yeah. So it was stuff that I owed her, and we basically just evenly went down it and said, okay, I'd pay for half of that. I'd pay for this half. And it ended up being about $5,500 that I would owe her. She said she was fine with me paying over months. And I'm just I just want to get done and over with it. And then we can just call it even Steven. So
okay, let's get on.
When does this payment thing,
the balance transfer end?
And yes.
I think I remember seeing it.
Now, let me explain another thing that you guys, debt slaves, you guys do. You guys do balance transfers all the time because you guys think it's normal, right? Now, the 0% interest rate is the bait on the hook for you guys to do it, because you got to remember, you've had balances on your credit cards for years. They already know you're not, listen, they already know you're not going to pay it off. That's why they offer, hey, 0% interest rate. Because then you guys will take it because you're like, hey, I can save on interest. Well, that's what you think. Balance transfers are not free. That costs money. That's not free. So you guys do it anyway because you guys are so focused on leaving the high interest rate or whatever. They own everything already. It's whatever bank is that, they're all connected. You guys just don't know that. Okay. Then you transfer. You're not going to listen. If you had the balance over here for 5, sound like it's 1 year free 0% interest rate for a year. Okay. If you had the balance for 5 years, they already know you're not going to pay it off over here. Don't you get it?
On one of those, I think it's on there.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You're not saving anything.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
I know. I think in my head, I was always like, if I ever got to that point, it wasn't paid off, I would just balance transfer again. But in my mind, I always
down the road.
I always liked the idea of being able to pay it off before that happens.
Yes, I would also enjoy that idea.
Oh man,
that is the plan right now.
So you don't know when it is?
I don't know how long. No, it should be.
Did you open them at the same time, both?
No.
Okay.
I believe they might be like a month apart.
good job, Caleb. This guy he's got to be on the ship with Elon going to Mars. He's got to be on that rocket ship right now. He's got to be, because what he's talking about, I have no idea what he's talking about. Not a clue. He doesn't know that.
Part or so.
Okay, so there'll be similar periods.
Yeah. The city
one ends in December.
All right, I need to see this student loan.
But that credit card had
But you should do it because we're trying to get
both of the cards.
Yeah, you went from 35 minimum to 50.
Yeah, because they
And then
I
just
have
minimum monthly payment on Discover.
Currently I have some even smaller than that stuff that I am.
Oh, that I didn't have. That. Oh no.
I have 2 other things.
Oh, what do you have?
That I'm currently paying, and
What
that is collections for like $400. That was for a company that it was like a dating site that I thought was a scam, and unfortunately,
Congratulations, Caleb. Let me tell you something. Caleb's channel is going to go to millions of views, millions of subscribers. Believe that. Millions. You know why? Because there's millions of debt slaves, millions that all do the same thing he does. Congratulations, Caleb. Congratulations. I'm going to tell you that right now. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. My hat off to you. Congratulations. You're doing such an excellent job. That's forever success. Congratulations.
I signed up for their crap.
What was it? Well,
eHarmony. And so eHarmony, when you sign up for them, I'm like, okay, if I use this site, like I'm going to find people. Yeah. Within like 100 miles, like
Caleb was like,
25 people showed up. And I'm just like,
man,
okay, this is useless. So I tried to get my money back as soon as possible, like less than an hour after I signed up. And they were like, nah, we're not going to give you your money back. But I paid through PayPal, so I got my money back. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to charge you all of it now. So
that's why I use Hinge Extra Super Premium Plus Supreme to try to find love.
Oh, yeah.
Yet I have not found love. So
well,
match with me.
That's what I used. And they put it to collections. I tried to fight it. I asked them for evidence of the collections, because sometimes they don't, if it's small enough, they don't even send you any.
Look at him. Listen what he just said. He caused the debt. He caused the debt, but he says he's going to make the company try to look for evidence of it. Why are you doing that? Why are you lying? It's so crazy. Debt slaves will create a debt and feel like they shouldn't have to pay it back. Try to find some way, and this is why these scammers always get online and be like, hey, did you know if you create a debt under this name, you don't have to pay it under US code, this and that. Those are called debt slaves that are lying to you, that are taking your money. None of that is true. You're supposed to pay your debts, period.
Any evidence of it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it.
But they sent me everything on it. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll pay it.
What else?
So I started a payment plan.
And he's laughing about it. They said, okay, you want us to show you evidence? Yeah, now we got to waste some time to get this dude some paperwork. Here you go. Here's the evidence. Oh, okay, I'll pay it. You caused it.
And for that,
what's the payment plan? How much a month?
$75 a month.
Okay.
For six months. Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Taxes. And
okay,
I take that 65 and I put it towards the IRS bi-weekly. So that
whoa. What'd you say?
$1 every bi-weekly, basically.
2022's taxes?
Yes.
So this was okay. What else?
taxes. So taxes last year. Taxes last year, it's not too bad. Taxes last year, I signed up.
Anything to the IRS is bad.
I know, it's annoying.
Payment.
If you are behind on your taxes, you are in deep financial trouble. Let me explain something to you. If you owe tax, if you're making payments on back taxes, you are so deep in debt. You have no clue. You might as well go to the Pacific Ocean and try to swim to the bottom. That's where you're at. You try to swim to the bottom, but guess what? You made it with no pressurized suit, nothing, no air tank, nothing, and you're down there and you're surviving. You're alive, but you don't even know you're there. You're at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean.
It was very annoying.
For 2022's taxes?
Yes.
So like this was like we've just did.
They don't even tell me I owe it yet, but I know I'm gonna owe because I did.
Right, check this out. This is the bad thing. I'm glad Nick brought this up. Debt slaves, what you guys don't know is that you guys hate taxes so much, you finance them. You actually finance taxes because there's like when you go to a car lot to get a car, you're financing the car because you don't have the money to buy it. Okay. And if you don't have the money to buy the car, guess what else you don't have the money for? The taxes. So you finance the taxes, it gets all rolled up in one, and then a bank puts an interest rate on top of that. So you're financing the money for the car and the taxes at an interest rate of who knows what that is. God. Woo,
I appreciate it. I did it through TurboTax, and it said I'm going to owe $650. And I was like, nah. So I signed up for a payment plan that's on $65 every bi-weekly, basically. So when she pays me for rent, she pays me bi-weekly, and I take from her payment, and I take that 65 and I put it towards the IRS bi-weekly. So that is.
He's making payments on taxes at an interest rate.
I have it on one of the statements I sent you.
You said $13? So
$130 per month.
That's right. Yeah.
$130 per month. What I could do, and I've kind of just created this.
We're going to skip through. If you want to watch the whole video.
Yeah, I bet. No, full sale stupid expensive for the return on investment.
Yeah.
Like the return on investment is almost
whatever from the collections and.
But we have one more. And this must be your student death loans.
Sure is.
So
that's what I wanted to know. Come on, man. Come on.
You went to Full Sail, I saw.
Yeah.
I would recommend no one ever go to Full Sail.
I personally loved it.
No, I'm sure you got a good experience, but it's stupid.
Why'd he skip over the student loans again? I hate it when Caleb does that.
Expensive for what you could get.
It's
expensive for almost anything.
Come on, man.
Is actually after a scholarship.
Yeah, I bet. No, Full Sail stupid expensive.
All right, Caleb, you got me. Okay, I'm on the hook. Stop dragging this on. I want to know his student loan debt. Stop.
For the return on investment.
Yeah.
Like the return on investment is almost nothing.
So I'll kind of start from nothing. Okay. So long-term program, get a bachelor's, and that's what, or a long-term program. The long-term program is similar to your normal college. Out it in a different way. I would have been after a scholarship.
Yeah, I bet. No, Full Sail stupid expensive for the return on investment.
Yeah.
Like the return on investment is almost nothing.
Now, if I went to college, it takes 4 years to get a bachelor's.
I would have gone to Texas State University. And this dude back here, I didn't even come close to asking where he went to school. All I cared about is horse careers, like the people that
He didn't say the amount, did he?
Yeah.
I would recommend no one ever go to Full Sail.
Whatever from the collections and the 65.
All right. Well,
you see what I'm saying? I could just do that.
He's not saying it, crap.
On it now.
What were the student loans that you took out to do it? What I am cool with variable rate interest rates.
They don't make just like one loan. They're like, here you go. So when I was in school, they gave.
This is where I get actively upset. Not necessarily temptation of it, and it's kind of addicting. The fast food, the fat, the grease. I
Man,
don't have to.
if you guys find it, find
Dude,
out what that is.
within the statement, we went out to eat 370
I haven't heard him say.
insane pile of student loans. If you have like $15,000, all right, let's just attack that.
Yeah.
But if we're at 75,000 where you came in, then okay, that makes sense, and that's where I think services like them are okay.
Okay, 75.
You don't need a frozen sandwich.
I don't do bars because I'm allergic to nuts, but I know. If you look at one of them, I have like a Google Sheets of like my snowball calendar that I kind of created for myself.
Accounting for all of that, dude. I mean, come on, with the debt, the minimum monthly payments, how much you're eating on fast food. I mean, there's like nothing left.
Yeah. So like I said, it's basically with all my payments and everything. But I do see a light at the end of the tunnel.
You do?
If you look at one of them, I have like
He still sees a light at the end of the tunnel. That's not light. What are you talking about? That's in your head.
a Google Sheets of like my snowball calendar that I kind of created for myself. And I was starting with the collections and the taxes. And then what I did was I compared how long it would take me to pay all these things off. Just
He owes the IRS money and he's buying fast food. and he think he's budgeting. Oh, it's just Andre, this is wild. This shit is my congratulations, Caleb. You know how to pick them.
just making the payments that I'm making now.
Oh,
I compared that with an additional $1,000 a month in doing some Uber Eats. And I saw the difference.
Are you doing Uber Eats?
I started doing Uber Eats last week.
Good lad.
And
guess what he's gonna do when he's working for Uber Eats? Guess what he's not gonna do? Pay his taxes. When you do that, you're like 1099, right? That means you're responsible for your own taxes. Guess what he's not gonna do? Not pay his taxes for Uber Eats. That's what he's gonna do.
And it is good. And I need to keep up with it. The idea for me is after work every day to do at least $50, and that will end up
$50 a day.
$50 a day for weekdays. So every time I leave work, I go do about 2 hours or so, and that'll make me about $50. And then if I keep up with that for a whole
That's messed up, Andre. That's messed up. Uber, but it's funny. You're right. Because check this out. Somebody that can't keep track of their fast food habit, they get to pick up all kind of foods for people. So they can say, oh, shoot, I've never seen that before. I've never tried that. That looks interesting to taste. Wow. And then they get hooked.
whole week. That is $250 a week. At the end of the month, that's $1,000 a month.
Well, did you take into account gas as well with that?
No.
We have to account for gas and maintenance when it comes to.
He's doing Uber Eats, but he's not accounting. He's not keeping up for the gas it costs to do it.
What we consider profits from there.
For sure.
Plus, you're setting aside tax money, 30%.
No, he's not.
25%.
Yeah, but I'm also collecting the information on my driving miles, and
Look, see how he said yes, but I'm also collecting something on my driving. That has nothing to do with taxes. Nothing. That's why he tried to say yes really quick and move on from it, because he's not. That's why he's doing that.
math.
Plus, you're setting aside tax money, 30%. Count gas.
Now watch how Caleb brings it in to ask him, is he putting away money aside for taxes? The answer is no, because he touches on it and then he leaves it and talks about something other than taxes. Got it?
As well with that.
No.
We have to account for gas and maintenance when it comes to what we consider profits from there.
For sure.
Plus, you're setting aside tax money, 30%, 25%.
Yeah, but I'm also collecting the information on my driving miles, and every math thing that I've done calculated. Now I still want to do that to protect myself, because I know I don't want any taxes at the end of the year. Just surprising me, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I don't want any taxes at the end.
What? Okay, what?
Now I still want to do that to protect myself, because I know I don't want any taxes at the end of the year, just surprising me. I don't like that. But everything that I've looked at is when you drive for Uber Eats and you track your miles properly and all your expenses, that it equals out your taxes. And even if
that's called slave explaining. That's what that's called. He has no idea what he's talking about. He's just making up shit just because this, and I'm balance out that so I don't have to pay taxes. You're making payments on taxes already. You think you have the knowledge to do that? No, they don't. Debt slaves, you guys are the taxes. When you talk like that, you're the taxes.
Profit.
So make sure you're doing maintenance and gas as well.
Yeah. Any advice on like what I should apply for that?
It just because it depends on the cost.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
but I asked him, I said, hey, I'm looking to get into graphic design more professionally. Where would you say I should go? And he said the only one he was familiar with was Full Sail. Most likely they did some sort of presentation with him at the school. So that's why he knew it.
Yeah.
Again, the school is not going to that school is a problem financially. I feel like everything that I learned there was very good, but yeah.
Okay.
Financially was not.
Oh my God. He's just talking and talking and talking.
$70,742.55 of death. And that's terrible. We're at a 6.5 interest rate now. I do want to talk about that in a second, but we have a minimum monthly payment of $593. These minimum monthly payments are stacking up, sir, on $2,934. But $396 of it goes to interest, where basically $200. So basically $400 goes to interest, $200 goes to principal.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, did you take up private student loans to go there in the first place?
So yes, so larger payments were private. Those were Sally
or
Mae.
the interest rates. Yeah, Sally. Your collections and IRS debt, your total debt is $81,329.63 at the time of those statements.
Mm-hmm.
Paying on those, is just you were just doing basically a little over minimum monthly payments on the cards, and then minimum monthly payment. Just trying to eat better. I get going out to eat. I really do. I get
from this point on, he's really going to Caleb's going to be giving him suggestions on what to do. Some pretend budget that the dude is not going to follow. That's all for the show. Okay. That's all for the show. This was Caleb's, congratulations, Caleb. If you ever watched this, man, congratulations to you, sir. Congratulations. And I mean that. I really mean that. Congrats. He has found a spot. Again, I don't believe Caleb knows capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. And I'm going by the video that he made about a year ago about his personal finances, because he lists some personal debt. And if you have personal debt and you're calculating it into your net worth and all this other stuff, he obviously doesn't know you can't do that. So he does, but that's not a bad thing. It really is not evil or mean. I'm just saying, I'm stating a mathematical fact. Okay. It doesn't matter how anybody feels about it. It's just what math is. Okay. But he doesn't know, but he does know that you don't stay in debt. You don't finance things that go down in value. Because like when Caleb talks about investing, what debt slaves don't know is that you have to have money to invest to do anything that Caleb talks about. Now, what Caleb is using is real money. I don't know. That was a year ago video. So I don't know if he's still in personal debt. If he's still, put it this way, if Caleb makes videos showing that he's in personal debt, if he's talking about investing, that's wrong, because you cannot invest when you have debt. So say like this, say like Caleb said he has, let's say $100,000 in mortgage loan debt. Okay. And then he says, I invested $5,000 into XYZ company. Okay. If you open up the calculator, put in 5,000 minus 100,000 equals negative 95,000. You can't invest in anything because you're still negative in the hole here. You see what I'm saying? So anything outside of the calculator, it's called the bank. That's the bank's territory. No matter how you look at it, it doesn't matter, because you can't get money from thin air. The only place you can get money out of thin air is the bank. And that's not really money. That's called credit. That's not money. Okay. But anyway, it just surprises me whenever you talk about this, I see him doing that show. It just surprises me that he doesn't know that. That's crazy. But anyway, that show he's going to be very successful with that show. It's just, you could just see it. Look how fast his channel has grown, for sure. Any questions of me? Any questions about the review? Any questions about the review? There's the link. Any questions of me? Do you like these videos? Do you like these review videos? I enjoy them, open to certain parts, right? But I also, when I'm watching Caleb, I love how he adds in his sponsors. He does it very smoothly. What else I like about him? I like the way he shows his facial expressions when the debt slave says something that makes absolutely no sense. That's why you always see a lot of the camera focusing in on his face, because at that, usually that should tell you that the debt slave is saying something that doesn't make financial sense and they don't know it. That's why the facial expression. That's why the highlight of the facial expressions. What'd you say, Andre? Google Sheets, Snowball, multiple checking accounts. Right. Right. I appreciate that, Luminoff. Thank you. Oh man, now that was funny, Andre. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. Make them hungry, but you know it's true. But you guys, what most of you guys don't know is coming. I can already see this coming, right? Like I always say before, Tesla is about to take over the food delivery, Uber Eats and stuff like that. Tesla is about to be the #1 in that area. Because first of all, his car, they're working on the autonomous software for the Teslas, and Teslas are worldwide already. The Teslas are already in place. Once they perfect the self-driving software, which they will, obviously they're working on it, obviously, they won't even need drivers to deliver food. You know how much they can just come in and undercut everybody? They can cut. They're in full control of their cars. They're already in full control of their cars now, okay? They just need permission from the owners to actually take control of them, right? But they already have control of them right now. So the people, the Tesla will not need any storage place. Just think about it. They will have so many cars, don't need storage for them, because they will be at the owners' houses. That's where they'll be. And then they just say, hey, all you Tesla owners, because mostly Tesla, about probably 99% of Tesla owners make payments. Okay, they're making payments, right? Of course they're going to, and then Tesla comes out and says, hey, can we use your car for our service? We'll pay you this, and you don't even have to be in it. You better believe debt slaves are going to jump all over that, thinking they're making free money. And when they're ready to use the car, Tesla just activates the car and pulls it out the owner's driveway or wherever they put it on the street, and then they just use it for food deliveries and people and this and that. And say like this, say like they're out and about and one of the cars getting a wreck. They just call a tow truck, get that one out of there, and activate another one. Boom, right back, just like seconds, nonstop. And listen, they can run 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, nonstop, all car. Like when they go to a city, they're probably going to have a maximum amount of cars that they can have on the street. Tesla will always have the maximum amount of cars on the street, always. They don't have to worry about people taking a break or something's wrong with their car. Now they got to get it fixed and this and that. They don't have to worry about any of that. All of the maintenance on the car will be the responsibility of the owner. They'll say something like, hey, your car can't participate in our program unless it has XYZ. And they will already know if your car that you're trying to put in doesn't have XYZ because they can see it. If your brakes are not up to par, they will say, sorry, you can't use that car until you fix the brakes. Then the person got to go spend money, fix the brakes, bring it back, and now they can participate. That is absolutely brilliant. Uber, Lyft, and any other ride-share company will not be able to mess with Tesla. Nobody. Now, I'm not an investor. I'm not recommending any investments to do what, but I don't know. That Tesla stock's looking mighty juicy. Because that's coming. All you got to do is pull up videos on YouTube and type in Tesla's self-driving software. They got different versions coming out like this. And guess who's testing it? Tesla drivers. They don't even have to do it. Here, you do it. The business doesn't have to waste resources testing the software because they have plenty of debt slaves to do it for them. Everybody making car payments, them Teslas. Congratulations, Tesla. Congratulations. Thank you, QJC. What's up, tinfoil hat? I can't share my videos with family and friends. I'll lose my friends. You sure will. They'll never watch it anyway. They won't watch it. Debt slaves watch my videos in secret. That's what they do. That's what they do. Sorry about that. I had to answer a text real quick. Any questions? Are you a Tesla owner? You excited about you making money while not even being in the car? Are you excited about that? Yeah, that's part of the plan. If you're making payments on the Tesla, you shouldn't be excited about it. Now, if you had a Tesla that you bought in cash that Tesla wanted to use to make money with, of course, hell yeah, I'll do that. Go ahead. I got and you got another car. This is how Tesla know that you know. Say like when Tesla starts their ride share service stuff, whatever day they're going to do it, right? And you have a Tesla that you own with no payments. And the Tesla will be under a business name. Tesla will know that you know how to do it right. They know, oh, we're not fooling this guy. Because his Tesla is under a business name that's going to be attached to our business. And he's making no payments. So obviously he knows that is the purpose of that Tesla, to make money. That's when you truly are making money without using your physical time. None. If you own the Tesla, 100%. And then the Tesla goes under the business name, and then you make it part of Tesla's rideshare service. Tesla knows if you say, yeah, I want to be part of that too. And then you add your Tesla personally under your name. They probably check this out. Absolutely brilliant. Think about it. Even the insurance on the Teslas will be the responsibility of the owner. Oh. They're copying the banks. Debt slaves believe they own a house with a mortgage. They're responsible for everything, the taxes, the insurance, the everything, and the bank owns the house. Congratulations, Tesla. Uber, Lyft, and any other ride-share food delivery services, you guys got to be shaking in your boots right now. You have to be. I would be. I'd be shaking in my boots. Tesla's about to come in here. Congratulations, Elon. Undercut all you guys, and you guys can't do nothing about it because you guys don't have autonomous, cool-looking cars. Congratulations. That Tesla stock, I don't know, man. It's looking awfully juicy. People don't even know that's coming. That just makes sense to me. Tesla's on that driverless software. They're on that shit. Different versions coming out. Have you noticed that? All you got to do is look every week. There's a different version, different version. That means they're on it. Why are they on it? Because they're about to take over. They're about to take over everything. And guess what? Uber and Lyft, they can't do nothing about it because they have to, in order to compete with Tesla, which they will not be able to, they have to come up with autonomous cars. They have to come up with autonomous cars all over the world. Sorry. That's gonna take a very long time. Elon is already there. See, that's what people don't really even get. He's already there. It's just a flip of the switch. When that autonomous software becomes mastered, and which it will, they just flip a switch. Hey, everybody, we got this new program. All you Tesla owners, you want to join, make free money? They're going to be like, hell yeah, these payments are high. I will do anything to reduce this car payment. The Tesla's like, of course you will, because that's why we offered it, because we knew you would. Flawless, just like you said, Andre. Flawless. That Tesla stock is looking awfully juicy, baby. Juicy. He's going to Mars. What does that tell you? He's making money. That's what that means. What other company you know is going to Mars? I don't know of one. Did I see your email? I think so. I believe so. What's up, Nick?
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on?
Let's go, LJ. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, man?
Yo, I'm just chilling, man. I'm at the crib. You know, I'm
Okay.
following in the chat.
Okay.
And what an amazing conversation we were having yesterday,
Yeah.
man, about like, you know, the origins of who formed the system, right? Obviously, somebody made the system.
For sure. That's obvious. And just like last night, we were talking and discovered, you know, the deeper stuff. If you're saying you're saving for retirement, what's that mean? You ain't got no money. That's what that means. That means you don't know. Saying it out loud and stuff, right?
Facts. And yo, how about these reaction videos, right?
Yeah,
Yo.
I like them.
Yo, I love it, man.
How you think they're going, man? How you like it?
Yo, I think it's awesome. Honestly, it spices things up. You get like I said, Caleb is able to pick out the perfect people for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the situations are real, you know, and it's very interesting, you know, and it's a shame, right? Because a lot of people are going through this and they don't even realize it.
Right.
And this is why it's a blessing that we have SMD. You know, I was in the debt matrix at one point. You know, we like to poke fun at debt slaves all the time, but we understand we were there before as well. Right. And you just got to keep following LJ, following the content, following the rules to get out of the debt matrix as soon as possible.
You know what? I was just thinking, and what's the name just said that, Jesus, right? He said, okay, so if you're a debt slave and you want to see how it really works without ever being here, play Monopoly, but don't finance anything. Play Monopoly with your friends, but don't put down payments on anything. You know, Monopoly rules you buy everything when you have the money. So you can kind of get an idea of how, because Monopoly can literally show you how the real world works. If you be the bank and never borrow money to buy anything when you're playing Monopoly, you will see how the real world works.
Right. And that's an excellent game to play, LJ. Yeah, I spent a lot of hours playing Monopoly. But
do you play now? Do you play now as the debt-free person?
Oh yeah. I mean,
how's
look,
that going?
I have it on the
I've never
PlayStation.
done it. I've never bothered to do it. How's it going? How's that? Are you killing it, or what? I mean, what's the difference in experience?
I mean, I think the one thing about Monopoly though, like you're rolling the dice, so it's kind of like you're still going to play the game a certain way. I mean, if you look at the rules in Monopoly, like there's a few ways that you can play it, you know what I'm saying, based off certain rules and whatnot. But yeah, but like LJ, back to the whole reactions thing. Yo, it's crazy what you're doing. Like, you know, to actually comment on these situations that Caleb is having with these clients. And it's just wild, bro. It's wild.
You know,
Super
when
entertaining
I
too.
think of that, no problem. When I think of Caleb, when he picks a person, I wonder how long it takes him to pick the right. I mean, I picture him if he's going out on the street and then he asks him, he asked him the question like you made up last night, right? Right. And he's asking which one's going to ask. I'm picturing like this. He's going to ask a person and see who answers the worst. And then he puts them on the show. What you think?
Right. Like, I don't know how he's picking these people, man. Like, I don't know if he's putting out like a little survey to figure out what their situation is or whatnot.
Oh,
but
he could do that. Yeah.
yeah, but it's incredibly entertaining. It's almost like, is this real? Like, what I mean? I thought my situation is bad. I had 41,000 student loans. Thought my situation is bad, but yeah. And
imagine coming up with a survey, Nick, with all the questions like the one you came up with last night, but a whole bunch more. And then you hand this survey out to the debt slaves and see who answers the worst. And then you pick them, but they don't know why you know what I'm saying? They won't know. That's crazy.
It's wild, man.
That's wild.
But yeah, LJ, like, you're doing a great thing, man. And anybody watching, like, you can get out of debt. It's possible. Don't let debt matrix pull you in thinking that, oh, how am I ever going to be able to afford a house in cash? Oh, I got to finance all my cars. That's the only way I'm going to be able to have a vehicle, right? And you got to think to yourself, this is where the creativity comes into play. What skill, service can you provide to command that type of income so you can live how you want to live? Like, it's okay to want those things, fancy cars, different things that you want, that house. You can get those things. It's just about how you're getting them. You don't have to go into debt and become a slave just to live the life that you want to live.
That is well said. PhD and SMD. That's Nick.
Hey, I learned from the master. You know what I'm saying? Follow LJ. Consume the old content too, guys. Get at the old content as well. There's so many gems and different things. So go through that and then really get to know what SMD is about. This is a family, and life above zero is incredible, and it's about freedom. But I'll end it there, LJ. I'm gonna be coming up more often. But salute to everybody in the chat. Yo, follow the Discord, guys, too. Get in the Discord. Let's keep in touch. All right, LJ.
Appreciate you, sir.
Got you, brother.
Love it, man. Like I said, Nick and I were we killing it, man. We was killing it. Last night, we were just like, man, we got deep. Everything was just connecting, It's like we were talking a little bit about like BlackRock and stuff and what debt slaves, like if you're watching this video, right, and you are one of the people that respond to something when you hear BlackRock said this, BlackRock said that, and you respond like, ooh, if they said it, it must mean something. That's a program. It makes you believe BlackRock knows something special or something. That's what you think because of all the Google chitter chatter debt slaves do on Google, but they don't know anything special. They just know math. That's it. They just trust the calculator, and a whole bunch of people in the background, they obviously all trust the calculator too. And then they just join as one and create a name that's mysterious, BlackRock, so you guys just believe it. They don't know anything special. Okay. You don't know you're a debt slave. That's the problem. That's what makes capitalism psychological. You think you're free inside of a mortgaged house. If you have to get up for work, because if you didn't, you wouldn't get money to pay your mortgage. The equity in the house is you. You are the equity in the house. You got it? It's 100% mathematically impossible to own equity in a mortgaged house. If you don't know that, you're the equity. Do you understand? There's no value. There's no appreciation and tax savings. That's all part of the program. You guys, it's you. Nothing. That's called the negative side of the economy. I help people come to the positive side because I don't want people thinking, hey, LJ, if you say this, you're trying to disrupt it. No, I'm not. I'm here to be part of it, just on the positive side of it. That's it. I'm not the negative. I'm here to contribute to our economy on the positive side. pay my tax, pay all my required share of taxes on time. Why? Because I know taxes are you. If I cheat on my taxes, that'd be cheating on myself. Cheating means you don't know how to play. That's why people cheat. Do you understand? Just because you don't understand, that doesn't mean you get to cheat. You just don't understand, and you're gonna stay on the negative side of the economy until you're dead. But you don't get to cheat. That's why you go to prison for tax evasion, because you're cheating. If they didn't take care of people like you and put you in prison, all of you guys would start to think you can do that. And that cannot happen at all. That cannot happen ever. So the penalties have to be severe so you guys will think twice about it. Same thing goes with copying money. The penalties are severe. That means you're trying to cheat. And that cannot happen. Because if that's the case, say like this, say like you tried to copy money, but you would get a fine for doing it. So like you get a fine. Hey, you copied a whole bunch of money, $100,000 worth, and the feds catch you and get you, and they say, don't do that again, here's a fine. You guys would all do it because it's a fine. But if they put you in prison for 20 years, guess what? The majority of you guys are not going to even try. Copying money. I understand that. That's why I don't do it. You understand? Why would I do that? That's cheating on myself. You guys are the money and the taxes, but you don't know that. So I'm not going to copy that. You guys are there. They're financing McDonald's meals now. Yes. Listen, debt slaves finance everything. I want you guys to really understand this. Debt slaves have no money. That means they finance everything. Fast food, potato chips, a can of pop, a candy bar, some flip-flops, whatever. They finance everything. And they don't know they finance everything because they're debt slaves. They don't know that. Excuse me. Any questions? Friend of mine asked just now, let me see this question. Somebody just throwing LJ, thoughts on the U.S. debt limit? That's all over the news lately. The U.S. debt limit, right? All right. Okay, I'm gonna give you my response to that, but from the positive side of the economy, okay? When I see the U.S. debt limit, I always wonder why it's there. Because you guys don't know. You guys are the money. So when they do a debt limit, it has to be a cause for you guys to see it and do something when you see it. Because it really doesn't exist. There is no limit because there is nothing there. There's nothing there. But you guys don't know that. So the first thing I think, all right, why are they saying that? Why are they talking about a limit or something like that, right? What I'm going to do is watch the debt slaves' response to whatever's decided, because this one time, I remember a few years back, they hit the debt limit, which caused the government not to have some money or something. So nobody in the government jobs was going to get paid until this was figured out. And I remember one time since the TSA is under the government, they made TSA people work for a month without getting paid. I specifically remember that. TSA agents were working for a whole month without getting paid. Now I said to myself, if I worked for TSA, now I'm debt free. I'm talking about it as a debt free person for TSA. If I worked for TSA and I was debt free during that time, and the government said, hey, by the way, we're doing something in the background and we don't agree and this and that, and they said, you're not going to get paid, but you still have to show up for work, I would have said, no, I don't. I quit, because I don't work for free. I'm not gonna go someplace to use the time in my life and not get paid for it until somebody else decides to do something. The majority of the TSA agents that stayed, it's because they're in debt. It wouldn't matter what the government's trying to figure out or whatever. I don't care. I'm not working for free. That's called slavery. I'm not doing any of that. I quit. Hey, you still get retro pay and you'll get this and that. No, I don't care. I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about the future. I'm talking about I got to eat today. I got to buy gas today. So what that would cause is them to use more. So during that month, I'm assuming they had no choice but to use credit cards. I'm just saying, I'm just giving you guys the reaction from something. What would happen so maybe they wanted to have debt slaves, you get more loans or use credit cards more or something, whatever. I don't really care. It's just business. I don't care. Because the debt limit, I don't really even know what that means. I know they say stuff, and if we don't get this and that, okay, what's the purpose of it? Okay, how do the debt slaves respond to the debt limit something? So I just watch what they do. How do you feel? Like when you're seeing this all over the news, and well, all of that being everywhere is on purpose, obviously, because it reaches all. Listen, the majority of social media and news and stuff like that, those are all privately owned businesses, so they can push whatever they want. And when you see it, this is me, when I see them all push this at the same time, because that's what they're supposed to do. Looks like to me they were obviously told to do that because they're all doing it. All you got to do is just look at the obvious. They're all doing it. Why are they doing it? They must want debt slaves to know something. I don't know. So let me just watch. You got to remember, I'm just new in this area. I don't know what level I'm at understanding this information. I have no idea where I'm at. So I just watch. I'll be like, okay, well, all the private companies obviously got together and decided to share this information. Okay. They want everybody. They want all the debt slaves to know, because debt slaves, you guys don't know the debt limit means absolutely nothing. It doesn't. It's for some. I mean, it means something, but not what you think it means. Okay, just put it that way. So I just watch. Okay, now the next step is to see you guys respond. Will you work for no money for a month? If your job is one of the affected job and they reach the limit and money is cut off or whatever that shit is, right? And you stay at work for a month with no money, that maybe they're testing something. How far will you guys work with no money? How long will you work without money? Maybe that's the test. I don't know, man. I'm just watching. Okay, all right. They'll work for a month without any money. Maybe they needed the bank to get some more money for some more income. So everybody's credit card limits just shoot up. Credit card usage shoot up. Hello, SMD family. What's up, Arlene? I just finished doing half a marathon. Wow, it was a struggle, but I completed it, and I am super proud. I will catch the replay. Congratulations. Wow, look out there having fun. They are the currency of the, yes, they are. They are the currency. Let me tell you where I'm at, okay? Even though where I'm at, understanding how this works is truly a blessing, I just have a seat in the United States Stadium. Debt slaves, you guys are on the football field. Imagine the football field, but much, much bigger, and it's packed. You can't even see it's so packed, you can't even see the turf. That's you guys in there, and I'm just in the seat in the stadium, and I'm just watching. So imagine me looking at the big screen in the stadium, and then I see and all you guys are looking at the screen. Okay, you guys are all looking at the screen. We're behind you. You can't see us because you're so focused on the screen. And then they flash across the screen. Debt limit is going to be reached, right? And you guys are all looking at it. Then I'll look at you to see how you guys respond to what you saw on the screen and see what you guys do. What do you guys do when you see something like that? Hey, debt limit is almost reached. You go, oh, what happens? What do you guys do? Start getting credit card debt and borrowing money and stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm in the back of you guys just watching. Okay, they're going to do that. They're going to start pulling money out of this. They're going to start increasing their cryptocurrency investment, thinking they're going to have some fast money or something. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just watching. Christopher says, LJ, I get mad. I don't get paid to commute to work. Yep. You think I will work a second without pay? Hell no. That's horrible. I remember when I was a debt slave, that used to pop in my mind of the amount of time I sat in traffic to get to a place that I didn't really want to go. I didn't get paid to commute to traffic to work and back from work. That was, listen, that's the time in my life I didn't control and didn't get paid. It's like twofold. You can't see it when you're in it, right? Think about this. When you're in traffic, this is what debt slaves can't see. When you're in traffic and it's every day, and you look to your right, the person's face look like yours. You look to your left, that person's face look like yours. You can't really see the person's face in front of you, but you can look in the mirror and see the person behind you. All you guys' faces are looking the same, and you guys are in traffic in the very thing that is causing you to be in traffic. You're making car payments. That's why you're there on the freeway in traffic every single day, not getting paid, going to a place you don't even want to be. Mad at each other, flipping each other off. You know why you're mad? Because you don't want to be there. That's why you're flipping each other off. F you, why you cut me off and this and that. When I'm debt free for years, when I'm in traffic, if somebody wants to cut me off, you go ahead. I'll just hit my brakes. You go right in. I don't care. People try to squeeze in, honk your horn. Hey, you want it? Go ahead, man. It's not. I ain't in a rush to get nowhere. I'm never mad. I don't care if somebody runs a light or sits at a light for a long time. I'm not mad. Hey, let's go. Okay, come on, wake up. Get out your phone. You guys are there in traffic. I remember I used to say, is this what it's going to be like for the rest of my life? Traffic to and from work? Hell no. I said no. I didn't know how I was going to stop it. I was a debt slave. I thought car payments were normal until I got out of debt and realized car payments are not normal. They're only normal for debt slaves. The very thing causing you to be in traffic is the reason why you're there. Car payments, bananas. It doesn't matter. Listen, it doesn't matter what the car looks like. If you're in traffic, say it like this. You're in traffic and you have a Honda Accord that you're making payments on. Right next to you, you see a badass Porsche. If they're making payments on it, you guys are in the same position. It doesn't matter the car that you're in on the freeway. You guys are there because of payments. That person's just in a nicer car than you. You guys, that debt slave is driving a nicer car than your car. But you guys are both there in traffic going to a place that you don't want to be because you have to. Especially if you're looking at the real estate game, you can clearly see who are phony and who are not. SMD, do you have some crypto on the side? No. No. Now, I'm not saying if you have money, don't do crypto, because you got to understand, if you understand SMD, debt slaves are the cryptocurrency. Here's an example. Okay, say like, let's just go with Bitcoin, and you're looking for someone, and this might not be 100% fact, but it's a high possibility it's true. If you're investing in Bitcoin, find somebody with whole coins. If they say, yeah, I've invested in Bitcoin, this is how you really know. This is how you decipher between debt slaves and non-debt slaves investing in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is positive and negative, okay? Remember that. If you look to invest in cryptocurrency, you look for people with whole coins, a whole Bitcoin. And I'm doing this like it's really a coin, but it's not. I'm just giving you an imagination. You look for, so if somebody says, hey man, you should invest in Bitcoin, you turn to them and say, do you have Bitcoin? Do you have Bitcoin pieces? Or do you have a whole Bitcoin? Because you got to remember, if they didn't break Bitcoin down in pieces like they do car payments, Debt slaves could not invest in Bitcoin because they cannot afford to buy a whole coin. They don't have the money for that. So they break it down in pieces so debt slaves can play. So the people that own the whole Bitcoins can earn the money. You understand? That's how. So you look for somebody that, do you have a whole Bitcoin or do you have a piece? If they have a piece, you don't pay attention to what they're saying. They only have a piece of it. Who cares? It doesn't matter what they think. Do you have a whole Bitcoin or a piece? They say a piece, you leave. If they say a whole Bitcoin, you open up your ears a little more. You're like, okay, all right. How'd you do that? That's the difference between investing. Anything, not investing. I'm just talking about this cryptocurrency game. If the whole thing costs a certain amount, but they got it broke up in pieces, anybody talking to you about cryptocurrency, you ask and see if they have a whole coin or a piece of a coin. Or you can say something like this. Say like they're talking to you about investing. Let's just stick with Bitcoin because they're the biggest. They're talking about investing in Bitcoin. You turn to them and say, are you making car payments? If they say yes, they're talking about a piece of a Bitcoin because you can't buy a whole Bitcoin while making car payments. Hey, man, Bitcoin has gone up, man. I've invested in this and that, and my money's did this and that, and whatever they're telling you, turn to them and say, do you have student loan debt? If they say yes, they're talking about a piece of a Bitcoin that they can't afford to buy because they don't know that. That's why they're buying a piece of it. You see it? That's how it works. What's up, Alonzo? Yeah, debt slave causing traffic. No, it's like this, Jesus. Debt slaves are the traffic. It's them. They're like, imagine, and this is you got to be honest with yourself. If you're in traffic and you say, I hate this traffic, you got to stop and think, well, I'm in it. That means traffic is me. You are the traffic. You got to just stop and think. If you're in it, that means it's you. You think every debt slave thinks traffic is every debt slave thinks traffic is caused by all the other people and not them. They don't realize that it's you. You're part of it. If you're in traffic every single day, that means you are the traffic. Do you understand? That's fucked up. Oh man, you guys don't really understand. Shit just becomes so obvious. Just like, then I think back at myself as a debt slave, being in traffic every single day, being pissed at it too, never realizing that the traffic was me. Oh. Oh my God. Hell yeah, it's a good idea. That's the only thing you can invest in, debt slaves. There is nothing else. The guy who went down for FTX basically said the same thing. You get a bunch of people to put their money in a box. That's the value of the box for sure. And when you say the guy that went down, unfortunately, he was cheating. Okay. That's why he went down for something. People like that, that's the sad thing. People like that get an idea of how it works and they start making money and then they start getting greedy and then they start cheating. It's messed up. Same here, Django. That's why I barely go anywhere. Put it this way, if I get caught in traffic, it's because I had to go somewhere. It doesn't make me part of the traffic because it hardly ever happens to me because I'm never in it. Exactly. And that's how you get out of it. That's exactly how you get out of it. You say things like that to yourself, and then the universe makes it happen. I promise you. Oh, it's deeper than that, Christopher. Way deep. When I'm on this, we talk, I'm on the light version. Okay. Andre, Nick, you guys, we can go so deep, you guys won't even understand where we're at. You'd be like, am I watching The Twilight Zone? I thought that show was canceled. Debt slaves, you are only fooling yourselves. We understand you, and we want you for sure. Debt slaves, you guys don't know people like us exist. You don't even know. We see you, but you can't see us. You guys be on social media. You guys will finance a house and then post yourself on social media with a little paper key, and your family, everybody's hugging, shaking the realtor's hand. You guys don't know. You guys bought nothing. You bought the paper key. That's what you bought. You guys own absolutely nothing. You're taking pictures with your family. It doesn't mean anything. What you taking a picture with your family in front of the bank's house. Hey, look at us. We're making payments to the bank. They got us with this house behind us. Slavery, direct slavery, like owning a person, was abolished in 1800s. So now they put something in between you and them, which is the house. Like, debt slaves believe it takes 30 years to buy a house. The bank buys debt slaves in one day and keeps them for 30 years. They own the person for 30 years through the house. The bank spends the money to buy the debt slave in one day. But they own the debt slave for the next 30 years. See what I'm saying? Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Don't be mad at the banks. That's called business. It's nothing personal. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. You don't believe it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you. I'm just sharing something with you. I'm just sharing that you don't have to be on the negative side of that. You can just come over to the positive side and do like the banks do. You buy a house, put a renter in it. They can tell their friends they bought it, they own it. You don't really care, because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people will go rent a house and then tell their friends that they own it or they're buying it or something. It doesn't matter what a debt slave tells their friends. As long as they're making the payments on time, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter. You know, if you want to buy a debt slave, right? Just put a car in front of them. I need more debt slaves. So you put a car in front of them. The debt slave jumps on the hook, financing the car. Now you own the debt slave for the next 84 months. Congratulations, bank. They just purchased a debt slave for 84 months for the price of a car. You're winning. There's no losing to that. With interest, there's no losing to that, okay? That's all upside. That's called positive compound interest. Compound interest is positive and negative. If you earn compound interest, that's called earning compound interest, is positive compound interest. If you're paying interest, that's called negative compound interest, because you're paying the interest, you're not earning it. You got it? Appreciate it. You know, when you hear like a debt slaves, you guys always hear about, hey, be your own bank and this and that. First of all, you guys are in debt. You're not even close to anywhere. You shouldn't even be saying the word bank, let alone thinking you're going to be one. Okay, you're in debt. Anybody that comes up to you with that stupid ass program talking about be your own bank, you turn to them and say, do you have student loan debt? If they tell you yes, that's a debt slave telling you something that you shouldn't be doing. Be your own bank. Are you making car payments? Yeah, that's a debt slave talking. You can't do that. How you going to be your own bank and you're making car payments? You're not even anywhere near even saying the word bank. Watched the Berkshire shareholders meeting yesterday on avoiding taxes. Buffett said the main thing is to spend less than you earn. If you spend more than you earn, you will be in debt forever. That's okay, let me read that again. Buffett said the main thing is to spend less than you earn. If you spend more than you earn, you will be in debt forever. So let me make an easier statement what Buffett's trying to say. I'm gonna give it to you from the positive, psychological, positive, negative side of the economy. Stop thinking you could spend money that you don't have. Okay, so put it this way. Say like you're putting money into you're putting $5,000 into a 401k every year. Okay. But you have a mortgage. If you open up your calculator, put in 5,000 that you invest. No, let's say like this. You open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. According to the do you see that large negative number? The calculator says you have absolutely no money to invest into retirement. That's what the calculator says. But you believe, even though the calculator is wrong, never wrong, you believe you're investing $5,000 into a 401k. That means you are the 401k because you are borrowing the money because you have no money. You are borrowing the money to invest into a 401k, which means that you're investing the bank's money into the 401k. Because you can't. It's you. You're the 401k. You are the 401k, and you're taking the bank's money, investing in the 401k to give the business tax breaks or something. You don't have to be that person. That's why Warren said Buffett is saying he's basically just saying the basics. He's just saying, hey, don't spend money that you don't have. That's what it really says. But debt slaves don't. The psychological part is this: they don't know they have no money. That's the psychological part. Millions of debt slaves believe they own houses with mortgages. They don't know that's not true. That's the part of the program. They just don't know that, and that's how it's supposed to be. It doesn't really matter what they believe. Who cares? They're on the negative side where they're supposed to be. Warren, when you see Warren say things like that, he knows 99% of the people that read this don't understand. Oh, just save more money than you spend. Well, they don't have any money to save. No, it's not. It's no Ponzi. When you call everything a Ponzi scheme, what you're saying is math is a Ponzi scheme, and it's not. It's just math. Christopher says, LJ, have you seen the commercial about the credit gods? I can't remember from what bank, but I heard that and realized they don't even have to sugarcoat it anymore. I've never heard of the credit gods. No. Is that a company or something? When I see titles like that, credit gods, I'm just like, oh, okay, let's go see what these guys are talking about. Because they use names like that so you guys think it's bigger, because you hear the word God and you probably automatically think of something high or something. Who knows why? But when I hear that, I know they're not talking to me because they're calling themselves credit gods. Why you call it your gods over credit? No, the only thing that entity that's God over that is the bank. The banks are God over credit because they own it. So when you hear somebody say that, you're like, oh, you're one of those people. No money to save. Facts. This is why the true way out is increasing your income. Oh, yeah. The true way out is increasing your income. That's the only way. You guys don't understand how beautiful it is to be on the positive side of the economy. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. The designers of this thing, man. We are, and Nick and I was talking about this. SMD, we are psychologically invisible. Debt slaves can't see us. I'm just saying, they can physically see us. Okay, you can see, hey, Linnell's a black guy, he's 50s, and you can see me, but we're psychologically invisible. Okay, and when we say take off the mask, we're talking about this body mask, right? So we always talk about this in the chat. If you take off your mask in public, you're risking losing friends and family and stuff. That's like unzipping this body that you can see and take it off, and now we're invisible. Just imagine. I'm just kind of putting this in your head. And this is how it is when I say invisible. And you got to be honest with yourself when I say this to you. Say like you're a debt slave. I mean, say like your person, many of you guys are making car payments. Only debt slaves make car payments, okay? If I came up to you and said just like this, hey, you do know you can't buy a car with a car loan. That's impossible. You guys would not understand what that means, therefore making me invisible. If I said that to you, you wouldn't understand it. You would be like, what do you mean I can't buy a car with a car loan? I just did. It's right there in the driveway. What are you talking about? Psychologically invisible because you can't. That's mathematically impossible. That's why you needed a loan to buy it, because you can't buy it without money. In order to buy a car, you must have your own money. If you don't have your own money, that means you didn't buy it. You financed it. You finance something that goes down in value at an interest rate. Therefore, compounding interest negatively. Exactly. Always remember, they have no money because debt slaves, you guys are the money. You guys, it's you. You guys are everything. You guys are the paper money, the gold, whatever cryptocurrency you guys decide to make up, all of it's you. That's what I need to do, increase my income right now, though. I'm still trying to figure out the first step. This, for example, let me give you an example. And this is a hypothetical, okay? If I was Elon Musk, okay? Since you guys are on his jock about how much money he makes, that means, and you see all the numbers, and you guys attach yourself to everything he says because of how much money you believe he makes, right? Even though it's the company, it's not really him, but you guys believe the connection. He's got to be a multimillionaire. Look what he's doing, right? So you guys will believe whatever he says, whatever comes out of his mouth, you will believe. So if I was Elon Musk and I needed some money, some quick money for one of my businesses or projects, I would come on and just talk about one of the cryptocurrencies. And if you guys hear me talk about it or say that I invested in it, guess what you guys are going to do? You guys are going to go and invest in that cryptocurrency because of what I said, which will earn me money. It's not illegal for me to talk about any type of cryptocurrency, whatever. If you guys decide to go invest in that cryptocurrency, which I'm probably already there, invested in it because I just mentioned it, you guys will do it. Think you're getting ahead of something, not realizing if you got your information on one of the media sources, that's what you're supposed to get. Because those are privately owned companies. So you hear it, maybe he got some kind of deal with him. I don't know. Who cares? It really doesn't matter. And then you guys do it. He earns some money and then they split it. Then next thing you know, hey, this cryptocurrency was projected to do this, but it dropped and tanked and whatever. Doesn't matter. LJ, I paid a $1,450 car back, $1,400 in 2008. Oh, you paid for, okay, got it. No payments required thus far. Congratulations. I will tell my grandchildren LJ of SMD is LJ of SMD is Elon Musk. Oh, okay, I got it. It had to connect for a minute there. Okay. You know what's so crazy? I feel equivalent to that. I do. If not more. Nothing happens without permission of the ones with the gold because they make the rules for sure. When you come to the positive side of the economy, let's put it this way. When you come to the positive side of the economy, there's another set of rules that don't really need to become laws because that's just how it works. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it. These particular rules don't have to be laws. They don't really have to be enforced. Like, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's go with Bernie Madoff because a lot of people know he made a lot of money tricking people something with some money or something, but he did it for a long time and he earned lots of money. Now, Bernie obviously was close. he knew more than the average person because he was close to understanding that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. And the reason why I say he was close, because once you get to this level, you would never have the possibility of trading the time in your life for money, because he was taking the risk that if he get caught, he's going to prison. That means you don't know, because you're trading something that's worth more than what you're trading it for, because the time in your life is the top. And then it's money down here. If you're reversing it, if you're doing something that could possibly send you to prison, take away the time in your life, that means you're doing it wrong. So Bernie was doing it wrong, but he knew something just above. But look how many people he so-called fooled. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some people in there that was not fooled at all. I promise you this. People that understand, first of all, you wouldn't touch it, because you could clearly see what that person's doing, and you don't make sure you have no parts of that in any form or fashion. But imagine how many people that had so much money that they were rich and they had this and that, and they invested these millions of dollars. That means they obviously didn't know that. They might have been smart enough to save a lot of money, but they didn't know that that was clearly a fraud. If put it this way, if I knew what I knew today and had millions of dollars during the time of Bernie Madoff, I would be able to see that right away, that that's fraud. Easy, right away. No questions, nothing would fool me. Why? Because I understand how it works. He would not have fooled me at all. I would have been like, fraud, none of it makes any mathematical sense. And if it doesn't make mathematical sense, if it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense. It can't. So I would have saw that. You see, oh man, he's been doing it for 30 years. Interesting. You think he was doing that all by himself? Because you got to think bigger thing. If you're stealing from people, all your taxes got to be wrong. All your filed taxes have to be fraud. They have to be, because you're stealing from people. You got to wait that long filing false tax reports? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Bernie Madoff was doing this for 30 years. You've been filing false tax reports for 30 years and nobody caught you. Okay, whatever. Hey, whatever. Any questions? This will be you. Say like you want to be a person, and businesses are in demand of you. Say like you want to be a person that you become a person that does financial fraud within a company. You come and learn SMD, a company will pay you anything. They'll pay you a lot of money to find out where the fraud, where the money laundering. Say like there's a company that cannot figure out where their money's going because somebody's doing money laundering or something, whatever, right? When you understand how this works, you have this company hire you and you can find them, because the very fact that it's stealing, okay, right away. So that means if you're stealing, the numbers cannot match. They can't, because you're stealing. That's easily to be found. And then you just point, hey, it's that person. Here's the proof. Here's the math. This is this and that and this and that. Because you guys really tell on yourselves. You guys will steal money and then acquire things that you can't afford based on what you're telling the government or the IRS. Hey, I make $40,000 a year, but you got 2 Mercedes Benzes out in the parking lot, making payments on them in your name. This is what you guys do. You guys will do that. You guys will steal money, go finance other cars in your name, and then tell the IRS that you're making $40,000 a year, but you got 2 G-Wagons that you're making payments on. The numbers can't match. You have no answer. So when the IRS comes knocking on your door, they already know that you're not going to have the answers because they can see it. Maybe they're coming to see what you're going to say, how much you're going to lie and dig yourself in the hole, and then you're going to go hire a lawyer. Your lawyer can't break the laws of mathematics. Nobody can. So you're wasting money on a lawyer because they can't do nothing. But you guys are obvious to see. While walking today to 7-Eleven, I overheard a group of older guys talking, and one said, "Time is money, money is time." What are your thoughts on the phrase? Time is money, money is time. Uh, what do they mean by that? Time is money. Time is not really time is first of all, time is not money. Let's make sure that's clear. That is time is time is time. Time is not money. Put it this way, when they say that, this is what I see. Which order? It's like the order of my life is time is number one, money's number two. Money is second. I don't believe those are two separate things because I never mix them. If you're going through life and you get those out of order by doing something illegal that can put you in prison, your order is different. You got money up here because you're doing something illegal 9 times out of 10 for money. You're not going to risk jail time. The only reason why mostly people do crimes because they're doing it for money. That means in their life, money's number one, time is number two because they're risking it being taken away by going to prison. So that means your order is wrong. You come across something, especially if you're young, and somebody comes across you and says, "Hey man, you want to earn some quick money?" The first thing you say to yourself, "Can I go to jail for it?" Yeah? Then the answer is no. You want to make a quick $1,000, man? All you have to do is take this package over there and give it to this person. And you say, "If I get caught by the police, will I go to prison?" Yeah? Then the answer is no. Yep, they are telling on themselves. It's not even close to time. Yeah, you're right. They're telling on themselves. Time is money. Time is money and money is time. What that says in their life, money is number one. That's what that says. So that means they're probably in debt. You know, people always say that, hey, time. And here's one more thing. I don't want to go too deep, but this is what debt slaves also forget. This thing in our head is called the brain. Without this brain, you can't do anything. You can't earn money. You can't walk. You can't drive. You can't even talk if you don't have this in your head. And the only way that your brain can repair itself, the brain has to repair itself. The only way it can repair itself is that you have to be asleep. You have to be laying down and sleep. You can't do anything. So what the brain does is put a movie on for you called a dream, so you could just watch it while it does its thing, while you watch whatever happens, right? But say like you are in such stress, like the brain, you need plenty of sleep for the brain to repair itself. Now, if you're in such stress while you're awake, guess what you're going to dream about? You're going to dream about the things that stress you when you're awake. Now, as the brain is repairing itself, now it has to deal with your body reactions to the dream that you're having of whatever stresses you out. Now you're dreaming about it, and guess what your body's doing? Reacting to what you're dreaming about, which takes away from the brain. It's like, oh fuck, I got to deal with this shit. This motherfucker's dreaming, and I got to repair myself. And he's dreaming about something that he's doing or he or she's doing in life. Now it has to respond the body, and now it has to take away. When you become debt free, none of that exists. You don't have stresses. You don't have 99%. I'm not going to say you have no problem, but I'm going to say 99% of your problems have been eliminated. So if it doesn't exist and when you're awake, it's not going to exist when you sleep because it doesn't exist. Any questions? 1 second here. Any questions? If not, I'm gonna wrap it on up then. All right. I guess you guys have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, Sunday afternoon. And until next time, see ya.